Good morning.
Yang diulang di Jakarta Mahasiswa.
Yeah, the ones that say if you open some business. That'd be another thing. They are calling business.
Some two. Some two. Let's
Oh, okay. Ano,
Yes, because I'm using this mic. I'm using this mic. No, it's because I'm using this. Pass here. Pass here. Again, without a kid. I'm plugging the Zoom for him.
Just tested it.
This one is not the, it's not can that can say maybe
The type C.
yes.
You can think for camel, the middle of the program, then you come. If you know they come, don't disturb you. So try. If you know they come, don't catch them back.
Oh, give me the this thing. I'll make a connect them directly.
Unmute and see who it. So I have unmuted. I should mute it.
Global Fund for funding this event. My name is Margaret Yamwa, and I'll be coordinating this morning's session of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin the program with an opening prayer. I'd like to call on Mr. Charles Udru, Deputy Director Administration, to give us that. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Please respectfully let us rise for a short prayer. Shall we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we thank you this morning and we bless your name, Father. It is by your grace that we are assembled here. It is by your grace that, Father, we are not consumed. We thank you for bringing us together once again for such an important assignment. We pray and invite your Holy Spirit to lead us and give us strength, wisdom, and everything that we need for everything that we have to do here. We ask you for your blessing and your guidance. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Drew, for the opening prayer. We know that one of the core functions of the GAC is coordination, and as part of its coordination role, it organizes platforms like this for all key players in the HIV response to update stakeholders on progress made towards prioritized actions. This partnership forum is under the theme Strengthening Coordination and Mutual Accountability for Accelerated and Sustained Impact of the National HIV Response. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to acknowledge before we get into the program. And I would like to Dr. Tony, our CDC Country Director, if you could just give us a wave so we know who you are. We also have Mr. Hector Susila Perez, UNAIDS Country Director. We have Dr. Emmanuel Asenso, Bank of Ghana. Dr. Henry Nagai, Country Representative, GSI. Dr. Stephen Eisiado, Program Manager, NACP Ghana Health Service. Madam LCI, President of NAPLAS Ghana and GAC Board Member. Alhaji Mohammed Baba Shaibu, Office of the National President, Office of the and GAC Board Member. Thank you. Madam Comfort Asam, Federation. Mr. Ernest Amwabin Otsin, President Garnet and Action Chair CCM. Mr. Franklin Owuka, TUC and GAC Board Member. I'd also like to recognize all GAC directors and staff, and particularly the Policy and Planning Division and the task team that made this event possible. And I also salute our media partners. We know that I'd also like to recognize our personalities on the high table, forgive me. So on my immediate right, we have Ambassador Dr. Mokwa Ble Edujemfi, Presidential Advisor on HIV and AIDS. We also have Honorable Frima Oseo Pari, Chief of Staff. And of course, we have the Director General, Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Cheme Ituahini. With every activity, we usually have a personality who chairs. So for this partnership forum, we have a chairperson. Permit me to introduce him, and believe you me when I say that I have summarized his bio. All the same, I'm going to read the summarized bio. Our chairperson is a product of Opoku-Ware Secondary School in Kumasi and the University of Ghana, Legon, where he graduated in 1974 with a Bachelor of Science in Economics. He has a Master's in Development Economics and a PhD in Industrial Relations from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. He also holds a postgraduate diploma from Harvard University, John F. Kennedy School of Government. Our chairperson has published numerous articles in referee journals, both in the United States and Europe. He was actually named the best instructor at the Howard University MBA program by the Graduate Business Students Council of the Howard University Business School. I like that. In 2015, he published a textbook for MBA students called Strategic Management Concepts and Analysis. From July 2002 to December 2004, in Ghana, he was the Director General of the National Development Planning Commission, NDPC. Ladies and gentlemen, in December 2004, he contested and won the parliamentary election to become the Member of Parliament for Winchi. As a legislator, he was on several stands, for example, committee, the Trade Industry and Committee, chairman of the Special Budget, and member of the Poverty Reduction Committee. He served as Deputy Minister for Finance and Economic Planning from March 2005 to December 2008, and Minister for Planning between 2017 and 2020. Our chairperson for today is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Economists of Ghana. He's been a member of various boards, including the Bank of Ghana, the Council for Scientific Research, Scientific and Industrial Research of Ghana, and Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, to mention a few. Our chairperson wears many hats. Currently, he's a senior policy advisor to the finance minister. He's also the UN Global Partnership for Sustainable Data Ambassador. Ladies and gentlemen, chairperson for today, none other than the National Development Commission, Professor George Jan Bafu. Let's give him a round of applause. A salute to sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, your chairperson, Mr. Chair, your audience, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. A summary indeed. I think it was a long one. Anyway, thank you so much. The Honorable Chief of Staff, Mrs. Akusia Frima Ose Opare. Presidential Advisor on HIV/AIDS, Ambassador Dr. Makuable Adijamfi. Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Cheme Etuahene. Members of the Governing Board and Management of the Ghana AIDS Commission. Members of the Diplomatic Corps. Dr. Hector Susilo Perez, UNAIDS Country Director, and the members of the Joint United Nations Team on AIDS, Senior Portfolio Manager and Country Team members of the Global Fund, PEPFAR team members, religious leaders, the president and member of NAP Plus Ghana, implementing partners and service providers, media partners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I deem it an honor to accept the role of the chairman for this August meeting, that is the 13th National HIV and AIDS Partnership Forum. Partnership meetings are paramount not just for taking stock of progress, but for building consensus and mobilizing technical and financial support. The goal to end AIDS as a public health threat remains critically important, with AIDS still a developmental issue, given its implications on multiple sectors. Indeed, is 3.3, the SDG 3, which aims at ensured healthy lives and promoting well-being for all ages by 2030. It is also a target in the Vision 2057, that's the Ghana's long-term national development policy framework. Ladies and gentlemen, commitment to the cause of ending AIDS is noble and as relevant now as it was some 30 years ago. I therefore applaud the Ghana AIDS Commission and its partners for convening this forum. As we gather with a common purpose to discuss the role of different stakeholders in the response to HIV and AIDS, I remind the immense progress, significant challenges that still country has various initiatives, increase access and care. However, the response to HIV is far. It requires a collective from all stakeholders that we continue to make progress and ultimately achieve our goal of ending AIDS as a public health threat. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is essential that we recognize the critical role that different stakeholders play in the fight against HIV. The HIV response stakeholders. These stakeholders include the civil society, sector, communities, and indeed individuals. The government provides the necessary infrastructure, the necessary resources, and policies to guide the response. It is responsible for ensuring that the necessary funds are allocated to support HIV programs and that the necessary laws and regulations are in place to protect the rights of persons living with, persons at risk, and persons affected by HIV. The civil society organizations have been instrumental in advocating the rights of people living with HIV and providing essential services such as counseling, testing, and treatment. They've also played a crucial role in raising awareness about HIV and promoting behavioral change. The private sector has a significant role to play in the HIV response, whilst they have supported with some financial support, and a lot of it, expertise and resources to the HIV programs. There is still a lot of room to do more. The private sector, for instance, can help to create enabling workplace environments that promote HIV prevention and support the rights of persons living with HIV. The community of care, part of the affected by the disease and are often passionate about finding solutions. For instance, people living with HIV play a critical role in promoting behavioral change, providing support to their peers living with HIV, and advocating for their rights. How can we, ladies and gentlemen, how can the scarce resources be judiciously utilized by all these stakeholders? How can the perennial challenges of stigma and discrimination, as well as constant unavailability of HIV commodities, be managed? This calls for us to pool resources together and work together to address the challenges that we face and seize the opportunities that are before us. In accepting to steer proceedings at this forum, let me remind all of us that the burden of the HIV response weighs on all of us, and it behoves on all stakeholders to discharge their duties with patriotic fervor and work together to nurture a collaborative environment where innovation and compassion drive our actions. Let us leverage our collective expertise and experiences to push the boundaries of what is possible. I'm inspired by the progress and the breakthrough. So together, our efforts move closer to a future of AIDS. Our shared vision can become a reality if we remain steadfast in our commitment and innovative in our approaches. In conclusion, let me reiterate my profound gratitude for this opportunity to serve as your chairperson, and I look forward to steering this forum to a fruitful end. And on that note, let me thank you for your trust and support, and may God bless us all.
I think we can do it better for our chairperson. Thank you very much, Professor Jan Bako. I understand that we have a representative of the Minister of Health amongst us. If you are here, please let us see you so that we give you your rightful place at the high table. I'd also like to acknowledge Professor Kwesi Tope, Dean, University of Ghana, School of Public Health and GAC board member, if you'll give us a wave. And Dr. Kafui Senyo, WHO representative. Please give us a wave. Thank you. We also have more than 80 persons online. We appreciate your presence and your participation. Would now like to call on the Director General, Dr. Chemi Tuahin, the Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Chemi Tuahin, to give us the welcome and purpose statement. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for coming. Mr. Chairman, Honorable Professor Jan Bafo, Honorable Chief of Staff, Mrs. Akosia Frima Ose of Paris, Presidential Advisor on HIV and AIDS, Ambassador Dr. Mokuable Adujamfi, chief directors of ministries and regional coordinating councils, members of the governing board and management of the Ghana AIDS Commission, heads of agencies and programs in government or public sector, members of the diplomatic corps, Mr. Hector Susula Perez, UNA's country director, and all the JUTA members here present, senior portfolio manager and the Global Fund country team, the acting chairman of the Global Fund, DCM Ghana, Dr. Tony Yao, acting PEFA coordinator and the PEFA team, religious leaders, our brothers and sisters who are members of NAPLAS and Garnet, implementing partners, media partners, and all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen here and those virtually. It is my distinct and privilege to the 13th Forum of VNAs. Over the years, Partnership Forum as a coordinating which enables Therefore, the purpose of this partnership, as outlined in the brochure, is to achieve these objectives. As you can see from the brochure, today's program focuses on discussing the program of work and financing the program, and also considering the issues of sustainability of the HIV response. The business meeting, which will take place tomorrow, is a closed session of government and development partners. They will discuss issues of critical importance and agree on commitments to the implementation of the 2025 program of work. The agreements or commitments made will be captured in an aid memoir to strengthen mutual accountability and help track results of program implementation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, over the past few years, The absence of a consolidated national program of work on HIV and AIDS has constrained the coordinating function of the Commission. Today, being able to present a program of work for a period of 2024 and 2025 is an important positive development the Commission cherishes deeply. The program of work is the consolidation of all planned program activities and investments of partners and government. A national program of work not only provides the tools for effective coordination, but also makes it easier to spot gaps and overlaps for correction. I wish to use this opportunity to thank all stakeholders who contributed to the production of the program of work that we are about to discuss. Mr. Chairman, the HIV and AIDS response at the time we have the scientific tools and strategies to we are at an opportune stage in the global response to HIV when we can see the light of hope driving away the darkness of misery and untimely deaths into eternal obscurity, while at the same time, inadequate funding threatens the sustainability of the HIV response. You may recall that since the world economic crisis in 2007, donor funding for the HIV response has continued to diminish significantly year on year. From that time, we have seen a big shift from international donor funding to domestic funding, which now stands at 40% being donor contribution and 60% being government contribution. These funding dynamics woke up governments and partners to the reality of unsustainability of the HIV response at country level. For almost 20 years, or for the last 20 years, discourse on sustainability, financing, transition planning, and country resilience has been driven by international partners. In the light of this, the Commission over the last 6 years has been preoccupied with efforts at developing a sustainability plan. Last year, the UNAIDS agreed to support the Commission to conduct sustainability assessment and prepare a sustainability roadmap to guide the country's policy actions towards sustainability of the HIV response. Along with this came investment case analysis to provide critical financial scenarios with relative programmatic impact to firmly ground the sustainability roadmap in the right perspective. Together with all of you gathered here today, these activities were carried out and reports of the investment case, sustainability assessment, and roadmap have been finalized. Presentations on these documents will be made to you at this forum. Mr. Chairman, the sustainability roadmap is not an end in itself, because it is only a small part of the answer to the whole big question of sustainability. Other pieces of the puzzle must be in place if the purpose of sustainability roadmap must be realized because a lot of critical questions are yearning for immediate answers. For example, number one, how do we reimagine what the responsibilities of government and donors will be in a sustained HIV? Sorry, I take it again. How do we reimagine what the responsibility of government and donors will be in a sustained HIV? We should know financing or exit to enable us adequately. Two, if we say government must take responsibility for financing the HIV response, how will donors phase out the multiple grants and NGO recipients into a coherent program that government must take over? Three, how can we dedicate part of donor funds from now till 2030 to support country transition management and preparedness plan in building or strengthening the systems Ghana needs to deliver high quality services in a sustained HIV response? These and many other questions still remain to be answered if the roadmap implementation can be successful. Government and partners should work together in addressing these issues by jointly developing and implementing transition management in mutual accountability. We have taken steps to implement what we consider to be the high priority activities in the roadmap, which include: one, resourcing the National HIV and AIDS Fund, drawing from various funding streams that would ensure predictability of inflows. Two, cover HIV and AIDS clinical services under the National Health Insurance Scheme. Three, ensure commodity security, not only by meeting the co-financing obligations, but also ensuring that the National Health Insurance Scheme benefit package for HIV will be adequate. Four, prioritize HIV and AIDS in the country's medium-term development plans, which means that HIV will be integrated at the national and subnational development plan initiatives. We shall use the partnership forum and other coordinating mechanisms to provide regular updates on progress on government efforts on these high priority activities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, new situations demand rethinking, innovation, and realignment. And this is exactly what the Commission intends to do, given the new dynamics in global health policy and HIV financing architecture, and the high need for repositioning the country for results-driven and government-led sustained HIV response. Going forward, the Commission will going forward, the Commission would focus on strengthening the necessary coordination mechanisms to that of all will be well coordinated, well monitored, and we shall have to have a data system which obviously should be robust and digital enabled visualization system across the country. We shall soon unveil the new coordination mechanisms and monitoring plans to our partners and stakeholders. These activities will start with mapping out all implementing partners and stakeholders in the HIV space. We shall consult and use open and transparent approaches in introducing the new coordination mechanisms as we have always done in all our activities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I take my seat, let me remind you that Ghana's HIV elimination agenda is still on course. With this agenda, we seek to achieve zero discrimination, new infection, including zero trans and zero. Surely achieve this objective if we work together, as this Chinese saying goes, and I quote, "Only when everyone contributes wood will the fire burn brightly," unquote. Together, we are stronger, and together we will succeed. Thank you for your attention.
To understand. So each piece of wood can contribute to the fire. Ladies and gentlemen, also we encourage you to actively share your experience and key takeaways from today's.
You can tweet, like, and engage using our official hashtags, hashtag PF2024, hashtag sustainability, hashtag partnership for progress, and hashtag end AIDS. We'll now take a statement from the Presidential Advisor on HIV and AIDS, Ambassador Mokwabli Edujemfi. Let's welcome her with a round of applause. Please. Madam, you may take your statement from your seat.
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Professor George Jan Balfour, Honorable Chief of Staff, Mr. Sakoso Frema Osei-Opare, Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Cherme Triahin, members of Governing Board and Management of the Ghana AIDS, members of the DP, Dr. W country representative, and members of the Joint United Nations team on AIDS, UTA, senior portfolio manager, and country team members of the Global Fund, PEPFAR team members, religious leaders, the president and members of NAPLAS Ghana, implementing partners and service providers, media partners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually reading this on behalf of the Oversight Minister of the Ghana AIDS Commission Board. I bring you greetings from the Governing Board of the Ghana AIDS Commission. It gives me great pleasure to take part in this important forum in my new role as Executive Oversight Minister AIDS Commission and delegated role of the President as Chairman of the Board. I'm delighted to inform you that the Governing Board is fully briefed about the work of the Commission, the progress of the national HIV/AIDS response, the challenges and key concerns of partners that must be resolved as a matter of urgency. The Governing Board categorized the challenges and concerns for immediate short, medium, and long-term solutions to give true meaning of government's commitments to accelerating progress towards the ending AIDS as a public health threat without leaving anyone behind. You may have observed that all HIV and other donated health commodities delivered at the ports recently were cleared with a sense of urgency. This is the new norm that will characterize part clearance whenever donated health commodities arrive at Ghana's ports. In the same vein, short to medium-term solutions are being implemented to fully address default in co-founding obligations and commodities security. In order not to bore you with a long list of solutions put in place to address each of the challenges, let me sum it up as follows. Since assuming oversight minister, a number of policy issues have been discussed, and these are all receiving attention at the highest level in government. His Excellency, the President of the Republic, has been well briefed on the issues and he has given specific directives to have all the key challenges affecting the Commission and the national HIV/AIDS resolved. I'm working with my colleague ministers to carry out the President's directives, and all of you gathered here shall bear witness to the results of our collective efforts at removing the challenges and bottlenecks in HIV and AIDS response. Mr. Chairman, we have taken a good look at the reports of the investment case sustainability assets, and these provide us with clear for the Commission to set program priorities, resource allocation, and strategic policy actions required to sustain the response beyond 2030. With these documents, we do not have any excuse to be short-sighted in envisioning the strategies for managing the response for results, especially as they added value in the form of tools to design targeted advocacy for domestic and external resource mobilization. For effective monitoring and tracking of results of the roadmap implementation, the Commission will categorize the roadmap activities as high, medium, and low priorities, as both in the investment case and the sustainability assessment founding of the AIDS response as the topmost priority, resourcing the National HIV and AIDS Fund, inclusion of HIV and AIDS clinical services in the National Health Insurance Scheme. In the National Health Insurance Scheme benefit package constitutes high priorities. You will therefore bear with me as I turn attention to the mandate of the Ghana AIDS Commission as enshrined in its enabling act, that is Act 938. When we pass laws, they must be respected and enforced by the stakeholders in law enforcement and obeyed by citizens for our common good. The Ghana AIDS gives the mandate for the coordination response to the Ghana AIDS Commission. The Commission is the entity clothed with the authority to determine the priorities of the HIV and AIDS program, direct monitoring and evaluate and activities of the HIV response. This is to ensure that in the spirit of the 3-1 principles, we can have a well-structured implementation framework with clearly defined division of labor among partners in order to avoid duplication and promote efficient use of scarce resources. As part of its oversight role of the national response, the governing board of the Commission will ensure good governance, dual accountability among partners, important aspect of which respect for working through national structures and operative frameworks. With the multiplicity of players within the HIV and AIDS space, the Commission's ability to live up to its mandate depends on how well it is resourced financially, materially, and technically. These issues are equally receiving the government's attention. While the government is striving to do its part, it is important that partners and stakeholders cooperate with the Commission for it to perform its functions effectively. The governing board will continue to provide the needed leadership in the strengthening the secretariat of the commission to live to its mandate. Distinguished guests, partners, and stakeholders, let me conclude by thanking our funding partners, including the Global Fund, PEPFAR, and the UN agencies for standing firmly with us in spite of the period of frustration you have had to endure. As you can now bear witness, all the concerns will soon be the thing of the past. Let us use this forum and tomorrow's business meeting to reaffirm our shared responsibility in arriving forward the national HIV response and securing a future where the impact of HIV is not only controlled, but largely
police on them to scatter them so that you take our order as serious. And we did that at Agogo. So there are some things you don't go there, you are gentle to them. Oh, if people take it easy, who are they?
Thank you very much, Professor, on HIV and AIDS, Kwabli Edujem, for stepping in at the very last for Honorable Osei Chi, who's the executive overseer of the EAC. As the situation in Parliament, he had to be there but he promises that if things calm down, he'll join us later in the afternoon, but certainly tomorrow for the business forum. If the representative of the ministry is here, it's time to make a statement. So you could go forward. We'll swing to the solidarity statement. I'd like to welcome Tony, our CDC country director. Please, let's give him a round of applause.
Presidential Advisor on HIV and AIDS, Makoa Play Adu. The Honorable Minister of here, Professor Joe Offer, the Chairman of Development Planning, also our Chairman today. Dr. Atuane, the GAC Director General. Honorable Akusua Fremba Operi, the Chief of Staff. UNAIDS Country Director, Mr. Hector Cecilio Perez. The WHO Country Representative, represented by Dr. Kafui Senya. The NACP Program Manager, Dr. Stephen Ayisiado. Madam LCAA, the President of NAPLAS, Ghana. Mr. Ernest Ortson, the Gannett President. Esteemed colleagues and fellow development partners, academicians, civil society members, and members of the media. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen who are here and online, a very good morning to you. It is my pleasure to represent the US President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, also known as PEPFAR, to provide the U.S. government solidarity statement to this very important 13th National Partnership Forum on HIV and AIDS. The U.S. government, through PEPFAR, has been and will continue to be an integral partner to the government of Ghana's national HIV response. As you know, PEPFAR is made up of several U.S. government agencies, including the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, the U.S. Department of Defense, or DoD, and the U.S. Department of State. The Bureau of Global Health Security and Diplomacy, under which PEPFAR is operating, has our 5-year strategy with 4 main objectives. First is to end HIV and AIDS as a public health threat by 2023, in line with UNAIDS and the global goal. Second, to catalyze political commitment and leadership to advance global health. Third, to support global multi-sectoral preparedness and response to health threats. And fourth, to empower the U.S. diplomatic workforce to integrate global health security through training, communities of practice, and regional partnerships. More specifically, as related to HIV and AIDS, our strategic plan also includes 5 pillars. One is health equity for priority and key populations. 2 is to sustain the response that we've gained in the past 20 years plus. 3, to strengthen public health systems and security. 4, transformative partnerships. And 5, follow the science. The focus of this meeting aligns very well with PEPFAR's 4th pillar, transformative partnership. Partnerships has always been a central way that PEPFAR operates. PEPFAR's mandates of ending the HIV pandemic will not be accomplished simply through our own funding and efforts. There is an opportunity to both diversify the nature and the scope of partners that we engage, and to design more ambitious, scalable partnerships that can truly transform programmatic impact. We will do so by strategically partnering with stakeholders to leverage resources and capabilities towards high-priority HIV programs. Looking across the national health and development landscape, there are major opportunities for the partners and the stakeholders and to coordinate overlap complementary program priorities. And stakeholders need to continue communicating with each other and with the government to strategically plan national, regional, and local activities that align with the common goals of efficiency, impact, and an integrated high-quality HIV services. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot discuss partnership and sustainability. Grateful to the UN national government spearheading the HIV sustainability roadmap. As a result of this leadership, Ghana is ahead of other countries in the region in formulating our roadmap, which will be presented and discussed next week by the country team. Partnership will also not out the community leadership participation. Civil society plays a role of advocacy action against stigma, as well as ensuring accountability and improving the care through community. As we have always, the community and the civil society are core players of the HIV response, and they are counted as integral parts of PEPFAR's transformative partnership vision. As we look forward to 2023, and soon in December, as we plan to commemorate this year's World AIDS Day with the theme Collective Action, Sustain and Accelerate HIV Progress, we are again reminded that partnership is core to this theme and to our work. collective action. This means that we all have our part to do under the leadership of the government to sustain the gains that we've accomplished so far, keeping more than 150,000 people living with HIV on treatment and virally suppressed, and accelerating the prevention and treatment gaps that still remain among men, children, and key populations in Ghana. In conclusion, together with UNAIDS, WHO, the Global Fund, and our respective bilateral and multilateral development partners, PEPFAR is committed to the ideals of partnership and collaboration in our collective effort to reach 95-95-95 by 2023 under the leadership of the government of Ghana. We are all in this together. Thank you. Madasi.
Another round of applause for Dr. Tony Al, CDC Country Director. So now we'll take a statement from online, if I can say that, from Martin Wenzel, Health Finance Advisor, Global Fund. We will not be able to see him, but we will hear him. But those online would see him. So we're ready for you, Martin.
Hello, good morning. I hope you can hear me well. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure today to represent the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. Let me start by saying that the Global Fund has a very, very close relationship with Ghana. It was Kofi Annan who had the vision to create the Global Fund. The Global Fund signed its first grant agreement with the government of Ghana in 2002 to support the financing of Ghana's HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria programs. Since 2002, the Global Fund has invested more than $1.6 billion to support Ghana's national disease programs and to strengthen health systems. Tremendous progress has been made since then. We need to commend the government of Ghana and national stakeholders for an HIV strategy that supports wide reach of testing, strong system access to therapy, and strong structures to support people living with HIV. This reflects leadership of the national program, an engaged and dedicated Ghana AIDS Commission, and strong links to communities to ensure interventions reach those who need them most. The success is evident in the results. By December 2023, 72% of people living with HIV knew their status, and 63 were on treatment. But we are here today to discuss longer-term sustainability. We are striving to achieve universal access to HIV services, the 95-90-95 targets. So are we on track? There are at least 4 immediate challenges that need to be resolved. First, the government of Ghana needs to act now to honor its commitment to procure critical HIV commodities. Global Fund grants provide resources in addition to government resources. The Ministry of Health signed contracts in 2023 for procuring $18 million worth in antiretrovirals to cover 12 months of the need. Only a fraction of these products have been delivered so far, and the risk of stockouts remains imminent. This means that more than 200,000 Ghanaians with HIV might have their life-saving treatment disrupted. Second, sustainable solutions need to be found to finance health commodities in the longer run. The annual need for critical HIV commodities is currently estimated at $27 million. This includes rapid diagnostic tests and antiretrovirals. The Global Fund can only fund less than half of the overall need. So even if the government honors its 2024 commitment to finance about $5 million per year, a critical gap of $9 million already remains. And in the current international climate, Global Fund resources for HIV will decline after 2026. The government will therefore need to increase its contribution to meet the overall need. Again, if this doesn't happen, it means that people will not get tested, and those who have HIV will not be treated. Lives will be lost. Let us also remember that this is only HIV. The same applies to vaccines and to essential medicines in primary care and for maternal and child health. Without these products, mothers and young children, Ghana's next generation, will be denied their right to healthy lives. Third, procurement must be strengthened. Earlier this year, more than 200 containers with critical health products paid by the Global Fund were stuck in the port. We already heard that in earlier statements. To ensure that this doesn't happen again, Ghana needs to ratify the Privileges and Immunities Agreement that exempts such products from customs duty. A robust process needs to be in place to expedite the clearance of health products that arrive in Ghana. The price the government pays for antiretroviral medicines deserves a review. The Ministry of Health has signed contracts in 2023 at a price of $5.9 per dose. This is almost double the price per dose paid by the Global Fund, which is about $3.6. Surely the government of Ghana can negotiate more competitive pricing. Fourth, and finally, let me also echo the concern about trends of increasing stigma and discrimination in Ghana. With increasing levels of stigma and discrimination, it will become more difficult and more costly to find the 28% who are the missing cases, the people with HIV who do not know their status and who are not on treatment. With increasing levels of stigma and discrimination, fewer people will come forward for testing. They will be more likely to hide to protect themselves, and they will put others at risk. This is concerning, and this trend needs to be reversed. These are some of the foundational challenges. The government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Finance, has a duty to its citizens to create these basic prerequisites for maintaining today's HIV response. Only then can there be sustainability to implementation of the National Health Finance Strategy, expansion of the National Health Insurance Scheme, and inclusion of HIV services into the benefits package, and genuine strides can be made towards universal health coverage by 2030. I look forward to the discussions about sustainability today. I look forward to hearing about the outcomes and about the next steps. The Global Fund remains committed to its partnership with Ghana and to supporting key stakeholders in Ghana on this journey to sustainability. In close collaboration with Ghana's international development partners, the Global Fund will continue to support Ghanaian communities, the Ghana AIDS Commission, the National AIDS Control Program, and the Ministries of Health and the Ministry of Finance. We look to their leadership to address these critical issues in sustainability of the national HIV response. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Martin Wenzel, Health Finance Advisor, Global Fund. So now we'll take the statement from UNAIDS Country Director, Hector Susila Perez. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Honorable Professor George Giaem Bafor, Chairman of National Development Planning Commission, Honorable Office of the President, Mr. Akosua, Dr. Mokowable Aduyamfi, Advisor on HIV/AIDS, Dr. Chirmi Atwin, Director General of the Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Siado, Manager of the National AIDS Control Program, now Country Director for Ghana of the USA Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, management and staff of the Ghana AIDS Commission, management and staff of all present government institutions, representatives of civil society organizations and community members, religious leaders, fellow development partners, colleagues of the Joint United Nations Team on AIDS, academics, representatives of private sector organizations, distinguished invited guests. Good morning to all of you. It is an honor to address you today on a matter of profound importance, the acceleration and sustaining impact of our national HIV response. As we gather here, we are reminded of the immense progress we have made, yet also aware of the challenges that lie ahead. Today, we need to reflect on the two critical pillars that drive our efforts forward: strengthening coordination, embracing innovation, and the importance of sustainability. Coordination is the backbone of any successful public health initiative. Our national HIV response is no exception. This means breaking down silos, sharing resources, and aligning our strategies to ensure that every effort is maximized and every voice is heard. By fostering stronger partnerships among multi-sector partners, we can create a solid, comprehensive, and harmonized response to HIV. In this regard, enhancing our data sharing mechanisms is critical. Accurate and timely data is crucial for identifying gaps, monitoring progress, and making informed decisions. By leveraging technology and improving our data infrastructure, we can ensure that our response is agile and responsive to the evolving landscape of the HIV epidemic. Innovation is the catalyst for change. It accelerates our national HIV response. We must be open to new ideas, technologies, and approaches. This includes investing in cutting-edge research to develop more effective prevention and treatment methods. It also means harnessing the power of digital health solutions to improve access to care, especially in unserved communities. Moreover, we must prioritize innovations. Lives and experiences of those by the epidemic. By the design and implementation of programs, we can create sensitive and effective person-centered solutions. My dear friends, sustainability is essential to ensure that our efforts to end AIDS today have a lasting impact. The sustainability of HIV response is critical in ensuring that progress made in combating the epidemic is maintained and enhanced over time. This involves integrating health systems, securing long-term funding, and fostering community engagement to create resilient frameworks that can withstand future challenges. By prioritizing sustainability, we not only address the immediate needs of those affected by HIV, but also build capacity for ongoing prevention, treatment, and care efforts. This holistic approach emphasizes the importance of collaboration among governments, civil society, private sector, and development partners, ensuring that strategies remain effective and inclusive, ultimately leading to a world where HIV is no longer a public health threat. This is why UNAIDS has supported the Ghana AIDS Commission in the development of a national sustainability roadmap and investment case, in collaboration with our friends from PEPFAR and the Global Fund. Most resilient HIV with resources effective over the long term. In conclusion, our coordination, organizing our resources, and leveraging strategic plans such as the sustainability roadmap and the investment case, we can accelerate our efforts and sustain the impact of our national HIV response. Let us commit to working together, thinking creatively, and acting decisively. The moment is now. Working together, we can achieve the future where HIV is no longer a threat to our communities and where HIV does not exist in Ghana. Thank you so much.
Another round of applause for the UNAIDS Country Director. Now, before we take the next statement, I would like the choir to give us something. That's the African Glorious Choral Choir. So over to you now.
Yeah, I'm going to say something.
Thank you very much. African Glorious Choral Choir. I believe there's a reason why you're called glorious, because you have created a glorious atmosphere. At least I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. So now for the moment that we've all been waiting for, the key address by the Chief of Staff, Honorable Akosua Frima Osei Opari. Please let's welcome her with a round of applause.
Representative of the of Health, Presidential Advisor, HIV and AIDS, Kwabley Edujenfi, Director General, AIDS Commission, Dr. Etuahin, the Governing Board of the Ghana AIDS Commission, members of the Diplomatic Corps, UNAIDS Country Director of the Joint Team on HIV, on AIDS, senior manager and team of the Global Fund, PEPFAR team members, the presidents of NAP Plus Ghana, implementing partners and service providers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, friends of the media. I deem it a great honor to participate on the 13th Annual HIV and AIDS Partnership Forum. I bring you warm greetings from the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo, President, His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu, who are both about the efforts towards national HIV and AIDS response. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, effective management of HIV and AIDS response calls for a collaboration among government agencies at the national and the subnational levels, as well as diverse partners playing different roles within the space. I therefore commend all players from the public sector, private sector, faith-based organizations, non-governmental organizations, civil society organizations, and families who provide support for all recipients of care. To share statistics from the 2023 National HIV and AIDS estimates, the population of Ghanaians living with HIV stood at 334,095. The number of new infections stood at 17,774. And the number of AIDS-related deaths stood, sadly, I will say, at 12,480. On the UN treatment aspirational 95-95-95 targets that Ghana has acceded to, 61.3% of those estimated to be living with HIV and AIDS have been diagnosed. 69.4% of persons estimated to be living with HIV have been enrolled on ART, and 89% of those on ART have achieved viral suppression. Notwithstanding, there is the need to invest sufficient resources and efficiently manage same in order to achieve these targets by 2025 through an effective stakeholder involvement and collaboration. The theme of this forum, strengthening coordination and mutual accountability for accelerated and sustained impact of the national HIV and AIDS response, is therefore appropriate and timely. Ladies and gentlemen, the reports on the investment case and sustainability assessment clearly point to the fact that resources required for delivering life-saving HIV prevention, treatment, and care services remain large and will continue to grow beyond 2030. However, the funds required to provide these services at optimal level are woefully inadequate, continue to shrink. Therefore, burden of providing DNA services is the funds available to address it. Our approach must emphasize efficiency by making the most out of the available funds. Accordingly, our investments, policy, and programmatic decisions and actions by value unit cost, delivering high models of care that are well informed by strategic information derived from cost-effective studies and the use of efficiency management tools. I am by no means suggesting that government will renege on its responsibilities to the HIV response. The government is resolute in its commitment to increasing funding for HIV response. Recently, the president gave specific directives to the Minister of Finance in this respect after studying a report from the governing board of the Ghana AIDS Commission. I know you all agree with me that focusing on efficiency management is a critical imperative for the success of ending AIDS as a public health threat. As we emphasize efficiency management, we should equally focus attention on addressing key challenges currently facing the response and concerns of partners, which include the following: low coverage and quality of HIV testing, resulting in extremely low performance relating to the 95 targets expected to be achieved by 2025, just next year. High mother-to-child transmission and low rates of early infant diagnosis. Low coverage of viral load testing. Suboptimal absorption rate and moderate performance rating relating to the Global Fund HIV grant implementation. Commodity security and delays in clearing donor-supplied commodities from the ports. Prohibitive human rights environment in the country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to note that concrete steps are being taken to resolve these challenges. While network optimization is being expanded along with self and index testing, the adoption of triple elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV, syphilis, and hepatitis B policy, and the use of standard service delivery protocols will certainly increase the uptake of HIV testing across the country. At the same time, the network optimization effort will equally increase viral load testing and early infant diagnosis significantly in the shortest possible time. The recent implementation of measures agreed by and government, implemented by the Minister of Finance and Health, Director General Commission, has successfully resolved the imports levies and delays of port clearance. The government, through the Ghana AIDS Commission, will continue to provide leadership and stewardship for multi-sectorial coordination by providing platforms such as this regularly for us to strengthen mutual accountability. The Commission, up with coordination mechanisms, promote synergies, strengthen both technical and social accountability at all levels. Cooperation from all and sundry is essential. The Commission's success in its role as a national coordinator. The government challenges with mobilizing sufficient financial resources for the national HIV response. This forum, therefore, should provide a common platform for all stakeholders to plan together and discuss implementation issues in order to build synergies for effective implementation. This should be the thrust of the 13th Annual HIV and AIDS Partnership Forum, and I invite all stakeholders to support the AIDS Commission in this regard. The outcome of this partnership forum and that of the business meeting will be captured as joint agreements between government and partners in the form of aid memoir to help track government and partners' commitments and progress of implementation as agreed program of work. I will urge both government and donor partners to use the opportunity of the business meeting to outline all critical issues affecting the response and commitment required for their resolution and successful implementation of the 2025 program of work. His Excellency, the President, is expectant of the outcome of this forum and the business meeting, for which reason he has assigned one of his most trusted appointees, Honorable Professor Jambafo, to chair both meetings. On Wednesday, 2nd October, the President demonstrated his commitment to the national HIV response when he presided over the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding with the Society of AIDS in Africa for the hosting of the 23rd International Conference on HIV, on AIDS and STIs in Africa, ICASA. Thank you. In Ghana from 3rd to 8th December 2025. I actually was present at that particular ceremony. The President commends all parties for working on the successful bid. It is our earnest hope that ICASA 2025 will shine the spotlight on Ghana's HIV response and maximize the benefit of strategic information and international best practices for quality improvement in service delivery. We believe work together, friends, and success. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to an aid memoir which will secure our forward march to ending AIDS as a public health threat. On this note, I wish to declare the 13th National HIV and AIDS Partnership Forum duly opened. Long live the Ghana AIDS Commission. Long live Ghana's efforts towards elimination of HIV and AIDS. And long live our home. Thank you very much for your attention.
Another round of applause for the Chief of Staff, Honorable Akusia Frema Osei-Pari. So we're going on a short break where we'll take pictures and then we'll go for snack. So I encourage you all to wait whilst we take the pictures. We're putting the seats for our dignitaries on the high table. The arrangement. Where's John?
Okay. So some can stand on the stage.
GAC board members, please join the seats. Please take a seat, GAC board members. So partner organizations, heads of partner organizations, please join. It's too wide. I think it's too wide now. All partners, please join. Let's take pictures. Participants, please. We're taking pictures and please join. I would like to see those still sitting coming up, please. Thank you. How are we? Pushing me. You're pushing me away. Okay. Sorry, those of us who are short. Oh. I'm sure we are all out. Thank you.
That's okay.
Thank you very much. So we'll take a snack break. The snack is around where the exhibition stands are. Please come back by 12. How many minutes is that? 20 minutes for snack break. We should be back at 12. Thank you.
That would be dead. That's if you want. No, what? That is I go. Yeah.
Why?